Story 1. I have been married for 12 years, and we mostly just laugh at each other. My marriage is the least stressful part of my life. Every year with this woman has been better than the last. Story 2. We've been married for over 30 years. Every day is fantastic. We're both retired and we work side by side in our pottery studio. Our kids are great, and we are living the life we dreamed of so long ago. We have a YouTube channel for our pottery, and today we're having a throwdown challenge in the studio. We're making tea sets. Honestly, I don't deserve her. Story 3. Practice tolerance for things that should not matter. It is a two-way street. Story 4. Go to the gym at 5 a.m., get the children fed, and give instructions so they are not late for school. Somehow complete 8 hours of work in 6 hours. Drive the children to activities. Turn saying "I do not know" into a real dinner. Try to finish something on the honey-do list. Read a book to the young child. Watch television while mindlessly scrolling. Go to bed around 11 p.m. Story 5. Not much has changed. We still literally slap each other's butts every day. Story 6. We have been together 9 years and married for 5. We both work from home and live by a nice lake. We try to leave by 3 to go fishing, swimming, or be intimate in an empty cove. This is all I want to do for the rest of my life. Story 7. I wake up at 5 a.m. and do my morning workout while he gets the kids ready and feeds our animals. I then get ready for work while he uses the bathroom. Since he is not working right now, he makes sure our house is clean and the kids are cared for while I work. It is great coming home to a clean house and a cooked meal. When we get home, we all go for an evening walk around our neighborhood. Then, together, we put the kids to bed and go off to do our own things. We are in bed by 8 p.m. sharp, and I love it. Story 8. I was married for 20 years, and we raised a beautiful blended family I would not trade for the world. After all the kids moved out, we forgot who we once were. It has been a very difficult road adjusting to life without any children at home. Story 9. We do not get nearly the same amount of quality time together as we used to. Our toddler needs very little sleep, so she is almost always present. He works out of state a lot. We are renovating the entire house, and we have a second baby due in December. Amid that and daily life, there is little time to be together. Our conversations are constantly interrupted. No hug can happen without our toddler nearby, and we do not even fall asleep in the same bed. But on those rare occasions when we are alone, we still have it. He remains the most interesting, funny, and handsome man I have ever had the good fortune to know. After a decade together, we are still head over heels in love. That love now may be expressed in small gestures such as holding hands while driving or a quick caress in the hallway. But it persists and continues to weather the storms of life. Story 10. The alarm goes off at 6 a.m. I hit snooze. The alarm goes off at 6:10 a.m. I get up, learn to walk, and stagger to the living room. I have 40 minutes to adjust to whatever hellish conditions my brain damage is subjecting me to. At 6:50 a.m., I go wake my wife. I prod her until I get a sign of consciousness, then lay out clothes for her and make her lunch. At 7:30 a.m., I walk my wife out to the car. I stagger back to the couch and wait for the phone to ring. I stay on the line with my wife until she gets to work, keeping her sane during rush hour traffic. 8 a.m., I water the plants in the backyard. I should probably harvest more hot peppers, do the dishes, clean the stove, and feed the cats. Collapse for a while. It depends what else is on the day's to-do list. I might do laundry, go shopping, do special cooking, or any number of day-specific tasks. At some point, once I trust my balance enough, I take a shower. I watch a lot of garbage on half a dozen streaming services. Hopefully, I feed myself. At 4:30 p.m., the phone rings, and I once again keep my wife sane during the commute home. Around 5:10 p.m., my wife gets home. If we need to go out, I am ready and jump into the car. Once she is in the house, she will not want to go out again. If there is nothing else, or once we are done, we both collapse on the couch to watch whatever new shows we both like. We eat late, so around 8 p.m., I start cooking. We eat, then play games, watch, read, or whatever. We are both night owls, so despite the alarm at 6 a.m., we probably do not go to bed until midnight or later. Weekends are less predictable. We spend almost every possible moment together, as we always have. We take more painkillers now, and before the stroke I used to go to work too. Otherwise, not much has changed. Story 11. She leaves before I get up. I make dinner while she is driving home. We all eat and talk about our day. Then everyone does what they want to do. Usually she reads and I watch sports. The child plays with her friends or with the cat. We don't talk much because we have nothing to talk about. Story 12. Married 15 years and together for 20. He is my favorite person. We have no children and never wanted any. We work unusual schedules, so some weeks we stay home and do what we want, and other weeks we travel for work for a few days. We wake up, have breakfast, take the dog for a hike for an hour or so, exercise, and take care of chores and hobbies around the house. At about 5, we have a cocktail on the porch, play a board game, eat a late dinner, watch an hour of something, and go to bed. Story 13. We have been together for 20 years. Things are tense here. There are many reasons for the tension. If not for my current health issue and the economy, I would probably leave. We are making it work. I work from home and she is out of the house, so I am home alone about 12 hours a day. She rarely talks to me, so most of my day is spent alone. I have no friends to call, and my family was never close. There are 2 nights a week when she is home early. I still cook dinner as expected, and that has become a source of contention. I am tired of cooking all the meals and always trying to figure out what to make. Her idea of helping is suggesting we pick up food. It is difficult, but it could be worse. Story 14. Wonderful. I look forward to her coming home and the family enjoying dinner while playing a game. The only thing that changed in 20 years is that we grew up together. We learned to live for each other, not just for ourselves. When both partners do this, the outcome is amazing. Story 15. Having children was the biggest change in my life. I have various defining moments, almost like sagas, and distinct periods when I felt like a different person. Childhood until my parents lost their house, around age 15. The rest of high school, college. Life before children with my wife, including our marriage. The toddler phase. The death of my child, which is where I am now. Life before children, we did a lot of whatever we wanted. Various trips, playing video games together all weekend, and being very flexible. We both worked, went out a lot, and had a relaxed, fun life with no strict plans. Then came the phase of raising young children. Lots of stress, but our relationship became rock solid. My wife eventually became a stay-at-home mom. We still traveled a lot, but our life revolved around the children's schedule. Planning meant waiting for naps to finish. In the very early phase, it was about getting home by 6:30 or 7 for bedtime. Video games became much harder because we were exhausted, but we still gamed together, watched anime, read books, and enjoyed raising children. So many museums and moments of wonder as a child forms a personality. Nothing comes close to the happiness my children gave me. My son recently passed away. We are in a new phase. We are back to being parents of 1 child instead of 2. Our daughter is 6, so the dynamic is very different. We don't need to plan around naps. Grief is now part of our lives. There is a lot of hurt from the loss and healing that will need to happen. Our relationship is still rock solid. I do not believe the idea that the death of a child necessarily breaks a marriage. Statistics actually show couples are more likely to become closer. Our day-to-day is dropping our child at school, work, and then after-school activities and play dates, so not far from what it was before, but a little bit easier in the sad way that there is 1 less child to plan around. This is painful. After the child is in bed, we tend to watch anime or go down YouTube rabbit holes. We will see how this new phase of life adjusts as the death is still recent. Story 16. We are not married, but it sucks. I feel so lonely. Yesterday he was talking with his ex, and they connected over a show we had watched together. He always had his earplugs in, listening to his favorite YouTube channel while we slept side by side. I can't wait to move out. I viewed an apartment yesterday and need to fill out the application. What changed? I guess we moved in and had a child together. Story 17. I have to say there is less intimacy because of the responsibility of caring for our 3 children. Story 18. Day starts with a coordinated -2 alarm system. One person snores, the other pretends not to hear. Coffee, then a silent negotiation over thermostat settings that would shame the United Nations. We commute, work hard, and text each other exactly 3 emojis during the day. One for I love you, one for do not forget milk, and one for you left your socks in the kitchen again. Evenings. 2 people who once dated like fireworks now duel over who forgot to replace the light bulb. Sex is scheduled. Romance equals efficient. Fights are short, we have seen worse. We end the night plotting our escape to the same Netflix queue. Married life is less drama, more logistics, and somehow the coziest conspiracy you will ever join. Story 19, we have been together 8 years. She no longer wants to touch me or ask about my day. She finds something wrong with nearly everything I do. I know this is unhealthy, and I am in personal counseling. I am trying to get her to attend, but she has an avoidant attachment style. Story 20. Up at 7 every day. I walk the dog, she does yoga. We tag team the kids' lunches for school and somehow manage to get out the door around 8. She goes to the office 3 minutes away. I work at home and occasionally head to my office in the city, which is an hour by train. Her parents pick the kids up from school and stay with them until we are done working, usually around 4:30. They take the kids to hockey, baseball, football, or basketball practice or games. There is something happening almost every night. Whoever gets home first cooks dinner. Sometimes we all eat together. Sometimes we do not, depending on schedules. We get the kids to bed around 8 to 8:30. We sit on the couch and talk or watch television. We go to bed around 10 to 10:30 and do it all over again. I would not change a thing. Life really revolves around our kids, and it is inexplicably fun. It is stressful and hectic, but fun in a way I cannot describe. Story 21. Every day with him is a wonderful day. I could not ask for a better partner. I wake up at 5 in the morning and have some me time, usually reading, journaling, or crafting. At 8, he wakes up and makes us breakfast while I get ready for work. We eat and then go for our daily morning walk. I go to work. I have 2 jobs. He works from home. When I get home, we smoke and usually do some kind of activity together. Lately, we have been doing a large paint by numbers. I go to bed around 8 o'clock while he stays up until about midnight gaming with his friends. On the weekends, we like to nerd out and go to Renaissance fairs, comic conventions, and similar events. It is a really good life. Also, no children. I think that helps a lot. Story 22. I have been married 25 years, and I can say life really does move in seasons. We met when I took a gap year abroad. She followed me home, and I proposed before she had to fly back across the world. Most of our engagement was long distance, but we talked on the phone almost every day and really knew each other by the time we finally got married. The first few years were fireworks, both good and bad. We were a broke young couple, learning how to be adults while also learning how to be a couple. Kids came early along with bills. Between ages 20 and 25 we made every mistake, but we also built resilience. Then came stability. I leaned into my career, and she became the chief executive officer of our household. We tried the city, the suburbs, and moved around the world. That created its own problems. She was far from her family while mine was too close. My wife hit a crisis, and I nearly lost her without realizing it. We forgave, reset, and agreed to do better. 10 years ago, we decided to move back in with her parents for 6 months to realign everything. It worked. My career took off, she found part-time work, the kids thrived, and we could finally afford family holidays, nicer cars, and a proper home. Of course, it was not all smooth. We have been through cancer, the coronavirus disease, earthquakes, and losing parents. Those experiences gave us even more appreciation for what we have in each other. Now we are 25 years in. The kids are grown or close to flying the nest. She works full-time for a charity she loves. I had a career windfall that gave us a bit more freedom. We sneak off for cheeky weekends away like we are dating again. It is not perfect. There are still family dramas, disagreements over what to watch, and long stretches apart because of travel, but we still check in every day. The phone calls that got us through our engagement are now video calls. That is how we are doing it. Living through life seasons and enjoying this one while it lasts. Story 23. We met while scuba diving 38 years ago. Now we are in Madagascar and still scuba diving. We are both retired. It is siesta time here, so she is asleep and I am browsing Reddit. Life is great. Story 24. We have been married for 29 years and together for 38. We start the day with a walk, followed by a cup of tea or coffee. She works from home, and I am in and out all day, so I try to stay out of her way. At 5 o'clock, I go to the gym. Then we have dinner with the family if possible. On weekends, we ask what trouble we can get into today. I have a sweet life. Takes effort. My advice is to never stop going on date nights and to take time to appreciate each other. Story 25. We have been married for almost 13 years and together for 17 years. We sit around watching television, sports, and reading together. Then we each take a gummy and do it some more. Everything becomes much funnier. Story 26. We have been married 20 years. My husband remains my best friend. We text each other throughout the day and send photos of things that remind us of one another or of inside jokes. In the evenings, after dinner, we usually cuddle on the couch with our 2 dogs. We do not have children. When one of us walks by, we sometimes pinch or slap the other's butt. Story 27. I have been married 13 years and together for 15 years. We met when I was 19 and she was 18. Not much has changed, we are just more laid back. We always find silly things to watch and hang out. I always say we are best friends who also have a sex life. We have a house together and joint bank accounts. We treat our emotions no differently than before. Years ago, she asked if anything would change after we got married. We laughed and said not really. When we met, I was an addict and she was an angel. I wanted her, so I changed everything. She saw me at my absolute worst. And I have seen her at her absolute worst. Nothing can ruin us because we know each other completely. I find it cringeworthy when men say their wives are annoying or that they need time away. Yes, we are introverts, but even when we sit next to each other without speaking, it is still a great time. Story 28. I get up and take the children to school while my spouse goes to work as a tradesman. Then I go to my office job for 5 hours. After work, I collect the children from school, help with homework, and cook dinner. My spouse gets home and we have dinner together as a family every evening. I usually do a 1-hour home workout while my spouse relaxes or does work tasks. We take turns putting the children to bed, and then we relax together each night. This is a typical day with no extracurricular activities. Other days can vary, but this is generally our basic routine. We have been married 3 years, and nothing has changed for the worse. Everything feels better knowing we are happily growing old together. I feel we have a strong family system that works for us. Story 29. We take care of our dog, relax together, and have fun. We have become more comfortable with each other and joke today, saying thanks for putting up with my crap. I am very happy. Story 30. After 45 years, we are both lying naked in bed, catching up on social media. Story 31. We have been married for 15 years. Everything is great. We compliment each other every day. Story 32. I have been married 39 years. Unfortunately, he is a serial cheater who wants to stay together and says he loves me. We live like roommates. I have my own life and do the things that make me happy. We are cordial because we live in the same house and have children and grandchildren. Story 33. After 13 years, the moments of silence when we are together are no longer awkward. We do not try to fill them. We simply enjoy each other's company. Story 34. We have been married 15 years. We spend most of our day tag teaming through life. We run a small business together, so we are basically work spouses and actual spouses. Somehow it works. Connection, respect, shared goals, and occasional conflict. What has changed is that we have gotten way better at doing our own thing. Early in our marriage, we tried to do everything together because that is what couples do. Now he is free to disappear for hours building God knows what. I'm in a hiking group with people he would hate. We have separate friend groups for certain activities. This has made us like each other more, not less. It turns out the best gift you can give someone after 15 years is not more together time but better together time. When we hang out now, we actually want to be there. We have new stories to tell each other. Story 35. There are two toddlers, so it is nonstop from 6 in the morning until we leave for work. Then we return home and are with them until they go to bed around 7:30 in the evening. After that, we clean up the living room and kitchen. With the remaining hour, we lie on the couch, wiped out, with ice cream and a good show. It is a tiring routine in this season of life, but it is nice to have someone to relax with and enjoy quiet time. Story 36. Well, my wife works 2 jobs, so most evenings I have the house to myself. I have a stepson who lives there and brings his kids every weekend, so I end up babysitting them on Saturday evenings. Usually that just involves making them watch TV quietly in their rooms, because I'm not a babysitter or his personal nanny. Story 37. We have been married for more than 10 years. We take turns. One of us gets up to care for the animals in the morning, and the other handles nighttime duties. We both work from home, so we pop into each other's offices throughout the day and often take walks together at lunchtime. In the evenings, we pursue our respective hobbies. Chores are split as evenly as possible. Honestly, nothing has really changed. Things come and go, like job changes, new pets, and trying new activities together. But the core of our marriage is solid, and I can see this lasting forever. Story 38. Wake up, feed the dogs, shower and get ready, kiss goodbye, go to work, come home, make dinner, watch television on the couch and go to bed. Story 39. We have developed a good daily routine now that the kids are older, 9 and 6. After 10 years of marriage this past August, we decided life was not chaotic enough and introduced a puppy. Now we are trying to incorporate him into our schedule while adding another variable to the mix. Life is constantly adapting, and I would not have it any other way. Story 40. Wake up earlier, make my wife's coffee, get myself ready, and leave for work. My wife drags herself out of bed after a few calls and handles the morning parenting. Once that shift is over, she works very hard and races home to meet the kids while I stay at work wishing I could attend one school event. She takes the kids to after-school activities and it's a race to make dinner. I cherish the weekends. Friday night is my chill night and I get a few hours on the snooker table on Sunday. In my view, my wife gets the short end of the stick, though she disagrees. Parenting and home life are a team sport. Story 41. We have been married for 23 years and are both retired now. To be honest, we had some growing pains when we retired. We have different morning styles. I am not a morning person and he is, but we found our rhythm. We kayak, walk, read lots of books, and relax in the hammock, and we are intimate sometimes. We are living our best life. I have an alarm set every day for 1:53. It is for a good hug. We are still foolishly in love with each other. Life is good. Story 42. We are both like cats. Most of the time we do our own thing. Then we relax together, sometimes quietly, sometimes chatting about nothing or important things, and then return to our separate spaces. We cuddle often because we are both at home during the day. He is my second spouse. We were married at home during the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic. We have been together almost 8, perhaps 9 years. He was the best partner for the lockdown. Story 43. We only recently married, but we have lived together for 4 years and been a couple for a total of 5 years. Marriage was more of a formality. We were committed from the moment we moved in together. Life improved in every way. The day-to-day is not particularly special. We wake up, go to work, come home, have dinner, and go to bed like most people. But we laugh together every day. We both feel a sense of purpose and safety. We are each other's best friend. And despite being introverts who are drained by social interaction, we constantly want to be together. Sometimes we are late to work simply because we want to cuddle a few minutes longer. Life is calmer and more meaningful. Story 44. Married for 15 years and together for 20 years. We are in the meat and potato stage of raising preteens. He works and I homeschool our children. While the children do their brief independent work, I do housework because I do not want to waste the weekends cleaning. We usually talk on the phone during his long commute home, which is 50 minutes. He comes and hangs out with me and the dogs outside for about 30 to 45 minutes. I start dinner. Sometimes he helps. Other times he is too tired. He usually helps with cleanup and packs his leftovers. We relax for the rest of the evening. It becomes an early night for him because he gets up at 4:45 in the morning and accidentally falls asleep. On weekends, I encourage him to do what he wants because his free time during the week is limited. We usually visit our used bookstore, do some window shopping, and do the weekly grocery shopping. Right now, we are in a routine but busy stage of life. I do not mind because we are all thriving, but it is not very exciting. He is happy too. There is a lot of stress from being the sole income earner at the moment, but he prefers it this way. He remembers what life was like when we were both working parents with no family support network, and we struggled. Story 45. Married 10 years. 3 children, 8 and under. We are a team. We both help with the kids, the house, and everything. We are tired. We spend evenings watching our favorite shows together like we used to, but we go to bed at a decent hour now. We don't get to go out as much, but when we do, it's still a blast. Even though I dream of sleeping in on the weekends, I know we will miss this season when the kids want and need us. For now, our life revolves around our kids. It's hard but worth it. Story 46. 16 years in, it has become a daily rhythm. Conversations, when not venting about work, focus on who is doing what, when, and how to accommodate. There are always projects and cleaning on the weekends, so those days are usually busier than weekdays. Vegetating in front of the television while we quietly use our phones is usually how we end our days. Just being near each other reassures us that we are not going through this alone. Story 47. During the week, I am up by 6:30 in the morning and get the household up and running. He gets up at 9:30, and I have breakfast and coffee ready for him. We visit until 10:45 in the morning. Then he gets ready for work while I pack his lunch for the day. He is out the door by 11 in the morning. He calls me every night at 10 in the evening when he gets off work. We usually chat for about 30 minutes. If the weather is good, he usually gets home around midnight. Not always, but sometimes I will stay up or set an alarm to make him fresh food. Some things are just better fresh, you know? On weekends, we are usually inseparable unless I am working. After 26 years together, that has always been our routine. Story 48. We've been married for 10 years and together for 15. Most of our days outside of work are spent gaming together, watching television shows and movies, about 2 to 3 episodes per day or roughly 1 movie per day, and a lot of cuddling. We usually eat dinner on the couch while watching television, then cuddle after the episode or movie ends, play games, and watch more television. On weekends, we go to the cinema and we also enjoy our daily walks. We take vacations occasionally, but they are not typical days. We are both men with many shared interests, which really helps. Story 49. I have been married 14 years. I am in a daily slog of raising young children and trying to save for a house in the most expensive housing market in Canada. We are starting marriage counseling next month because, despite a healthy sex life, my absolute adoration for him, and my being a devoted wife, he decided to have an emotional affair with our neighbor. Yeah, life is great. Story 50. We have sex less often and spend more time together. In the early days, when we had a couple of hours spare, we would definitely have sex. These days, we are more likely to sit together, watch television, and talk. Story 51. We have been married 10 years. We have 2 children, ages 6 and 3. On a weekday, I get up at 5, work out, and start getting the older child ready. The younger child goes and snuggles in bed with my husband. Then my husband goes downstairs to get the older child breakfast. And on the school bus while I get the younger child and myself dressed. The younger child and I go downstairs and then I take him to daycare. My husband and I go to work separately. We both work in the office. We go about our business and often text during the day, mostly about logistics. After work, my husband picks up both children, gets them home and starts dinner. I get home soon after and we play with the children, finish dinner preparations, and try to talk about our day. After dinner, he takes the children upstairs for a bath while I clean up. I join them and each of us puts a child to bed. When that is done, usually around 8 to 8:30 p.m., we reconvene on the couch to watch television or chat. We go upstairs to talk and cuddle. I go to sleep and he goes back downstairs to watch a show or play a video game for about an hour before he comes back to bed. The children are our focus right now. We are just going through the day-to-day, doing the best we can for them. We check in about our relationship and usually get out for dates about once a month. Our relationship has never felt like work, as people sometimes say. He is a great partner in person, and I am really appreciative of him. Our current priority is our children, and we know we will have our time together when they are a little less physically needy. Story 52. On weekdays we have work, our stepson, who is in 8th grade, the dog, chores, and the usual responsibilities. On weekends our stepson goes to his mother, and my husband and I do activities we enjoy without the child, such as hiking, R-rated movies, and weekend trips. I feel very fortunate to have the best of both worlds, in my humble opinion. Story 53. We are approaching 5 years together and do not have children. We have dinner together every night, sitting at the table instead of in front of the TV, and we talk about our days before bed. We usually try to go for a walk, go to the gym, or do something else together every day. Tonight we are walking to the brewery after work and picking up our community-supported agriculture box. Story 54. We wake up to the alarm at 5:30. We might have sex. We make coffee, then spend an hour drinking coffee and talking about whatever, or fighting if we are in that mood. We get the children ready for school. He leaves for work. Around lunchtime, he texts me to ask how things are, something we started earlier in our marriage. When we were having issues, he comes home around 6. He makes dinner, he likes cooking and insists on it. I think he does not like my cooking, to be honest. We have a nice family dinner, clean up, and get the children ready for bed. We get in bed, relax for a bit, maybe watch a documentary, chat some more or have sex, then sleep. We have been married 22 years. We met at 21 and married at 23. He says I am his soulmate and he loves me more than life itself. I am not the best wife. I have emotional issues stemming from childhood abuse. He is on the autism spectrum and used to be a narcissist when we got married. It has been a journey of learning how to care for one another. Things are great now. We have an amazing marriage, 3 children and 1 on the way, and we are in our mid-40s. Story 55. I've been in a committed long-distance relationship for almost a decade. However, I do not want to get married or even move in together. It is not a fear of commitment. Rather, I am absolutely terrified of getting bored or of living with snoring, flatulence, and other everyday realities that might destroy the vibe. Any words of advice to get over this? Story 56. We have been together 12 years, and when he walks in the door and holds me in his arms, a weight lifts and I breathe easier. My husband regulates my nervous system, and I do the same for him. With each year, our bond deepens, and with every hurdle we survive, we become stronger and more confident as a team. We are best friends. We say I love you dozens of times a day. To prevent it from losing meaning, I sometimes add that not only do I love him, I like him too. He reciprocates by calling me his favorite person while wrapping his beefcake arms around me. He smells nice. Story 57. We are both somewhat lazy homebodies, so when we are not at work she is usually in the living room reading a book, watching television, or playing video games, and I am usually upstairs in my man cave writing, playing games, or doom-scrolling social media. When we spend quality time together, we crack jokes, poke fun at each other, and cuddle a lot. We are very physically affectionate, even after 15 years. Sometimes we leave the house together and make even mundane tasks fun by being our goofy selves in public. All in all, we may seem boring to the outside world, but we have a lot of fun in the small world that consists of just the two of us. Story 58. Together for 24 years, married 21. We have the same sense of humor, overlapping hobbies and geeky interests, identical values, jobs in the same industry, and 2 amazing kids. My life is immeasurably better with him as my partner and friend. He is the kindest, funniest, strongest man I know. He says I give him meaning and purpose and that he is most himself with me. We split the chores early in our relationship, and since we both work from home, He handles half of the scheduling involved with kids' activities. Generally, he manages the morning routine and I cook dinner because of the way our work schedules fall. I am usually the one to handle major logistics and financial matters because it kind of freaks him out a little, but he does everything that requires brute strength or dealing with spiders, so in those situations I get to be a pampered little princess. We sit next to each other all day while the kids are in school, and we usually go out to lunch once a week just to make goo-goo eyes at each other. So yeah, it is pretty great. Story 59. We celebrated 35 years of marriage. We faced many challenges. Infertility, job losses, the deaths of our parents, and raising 2 children. We made it through because we communicated. As we get older, needs and wants change, so expect many changes in a long-term commitment. Story 60. Currently, it is whatever we want it to be. Being double income and having no kids is a beautiful thing. We both used to be much busier but have leaned toward a more agreeable balance between work and life, so we coast together. Otherwise, we make good food, play with the dogs, or enjoy each other's company. Story 61. We just celebrated 20 years. We have 3 young children. Some days we are holding on to the craziness and trying to maintain, and other days it feels unbelievable. We love each other every day. We support each other when needed, celebrate each other at every opportunity, and both recognize how lucky we were to find each other. Usually the day starts around 6:15 with getting up to get the kids off to school. About 45 minutes of making breakfast, making sure backpacks are good to go, homework is in their folders, lunches are ready, and everyone has their water bottle. Once the kids are out of the house, we both start our jobs. My wife is a research director and I am a business owner. She works remotely downstairs and I work upstairs if I'm at home, or I head off to one of my offices or a meeting. My favorite days are when I work from home and can walk by and smooch her if she's not in a meeting. She's my favorite person. If she is in a meeting, I will sometimes stand to the side and be silly and loving while I grab a bite to eat or something to drink. She often takes her lunch break to tend her garden for a few minutes. She loves it and always wants to show me neat bugs or lizards she finds. We often send each other funny things we come across during the day. I have to be at the school at 2:45 to pick up the kids. We carpool with another family, so between the 2 schools and the extra kids, it can often take an hour and a half to get everyone picked up and dropped off. Once we get home, we usually give the kids a snack, let them have screens for about 30 minutes, and then they need to go outside and play. Generally, we like at least one adult to be outside, so if none of the other parents are out, then we'll go hang out or play with them. Sometimes we have soccer or scouts, but most days it's a roving pack of 4 to 10 children going from house to house, getting snacks, playing in the woods, or playing kickball in the street. Our little street is amazing. We have such great neighbors. Everybody looks out for each other. My middle child is a 6th grader who is really into military history and has convinced a lot of the neighborhood kids that marching around dressed like Revolutionary War heroes is the apotheosis of cool. He spent all last year dressed like George Washington. Going fishing? Make sure you have your tricorn. Heading to the beach? Let me grab my tailcoat. That kid is hilarious and awesome. My wife loves cooking, so it's common for her to have something really great ready by dinner. My oldest is 17 and has taken an interest in cooking as well, so sometimes he comes up with a crazy idea he wants to try. Dinner is the main time we all hang out. Hear about everyone's day, make jokes, and then, if there's time, the kids will go back outside or hop on their devices for a bit. Everybody needs to be in by 8 o'clock to start baths, teeth, and final homework checks. Kids are down by 9, and then she'll take her shower and hop in bed to watch a show. If I'm done with work, I'll join her for snuggles and laughs. She always falls asleep as soon as she gets comfortable on my shoulder. So sometimes, even if I'm not finished with work, I'll cuddle up and, once she's asleep, head back upstairs to finish paperwork. On weekends, we often take breakfast outside and share tea. Make a big breakfast of bacon, eggs, and fruit before I have to head out to work or she has plans to take the kids to another battlefield, historic site, or nature park. We both love reading, but we are incredibly busy and rarely get the chance to sit down quietly together and read. Although we hope to once our kids are more independent. We are really lucky. We don't have lots of extra money lying around, but we are incredibly rich in the things that actually matter. We have love. Happy kids who know how much they are loved every day. A great community we can count on for things big or small, and we don't have to worry about whether we will have enough to eat or be able to make the mortgage this month. We both love our jobs, we get to help people, and we are very grateful for every day, even when we pull up to the house and there are toys scattered across the yard and 6 kids stream out the front door with $20 in groceries tucked under their arms, dressed like World War I soldiers and carrying bandoliers stuffed with replica grenades, stuffed animals, and gas masks while singing K-pop Demon Hunter songs. One little thing that makes me the happiest is that 8 times out of 10 we both say, "I love you," at the same time. My kids will randomly shout, "Love you, Dad." I would have a very difficult time asking in good faith for any more than this. Sure, it would be nice to take fancy trips and have many really nice things, but nice things aren't on the docket when we have kids like ours. Story 62. As the father of an 11-year-old who is developmentally advanced, has skipped grades, and is basically a teenager, and a 7-year-old who is developmentally behind, was held back, and is more like a 5-year-old, our lives revolve around our children. We try to engage our oldest, mostly by dropping her off at activities while she rolls her eyes, and we spend a lot of time teaching our youngest. I come home from work, we eat dinner together, play with the kids, and I put the youngest to bed while my wife cleans up. If she is still awake after the kids are in bed, we spend time together. Otherwise, we spend the weekend together as a family. The days of coming home and watching TV for hours and goofing off are over for now, but it is fun either way. Story 63. We will hit our 10-year anniversary in December. Not much has changed. I feel like we are still in the honeymoon stage. The biggest change has been intimacy. We still cuddle and kiss, but we very rarely have sex anymore. Whether it is time, stress, the kids, or hormones, that is the biggest change I have noticed. We are still intimate. It is just a different kind of intimacy. Story 64. We have been together 19 years. On weekdays when we can, we wake up and shower together to have a little chat about whatever is on our minds before the children get up. I work 3rd shift part-time, and he follows a typical office schedule. He makes our coffee, and I get started on things in the kitchen. He either leaves for the office or goes into his work from home space. Sometimes he comes out for lunch and makes us another coffee. We have teenagers, so life can be a little crazy these days, but whenever we can, we eat dinner together at the table. When possible, we go for a walk after dinner with everyone, indoors in winter and outdoors when the weather is nice. We hold hands and talk about the day. Then we go home and watch a few shows with the children before sending them to their rooms. In the evenings, we sit on the couch and talk, or just watch something together, or do a little work for the next workday if needed. We always try to have a little affection where we can. We try to get a solid 7 hours of sleep. It is a good life these days. It is totally different from the early days of marriage. We have been through many difficult seasons and trials and tribulations along the way, but I am really enjoying this routine with older, more self-sufficient children and a tried and tested relationship with my husband. I did not anticipate life to be like this, but it feels worn in and cozy in a good way. Story 65. Married just over a year now. Nothing has really changed, but I have found that we have both been making more concentrated efforts in transparent communication. Story 66. I wake up first, get ready, and go to work. I get home, we do some chores, I cook dinner, and then we watch something or play video games until it is time to go to sleep. We switch things up a bit on weekends. It's pretty much the same as when we got married 9 years ago. Story 67. We had been married for 16 years and had settled into a more rhythmic flow over the last 5 years. Everything changed 4 months ago when she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. You never imagine acid reflux, abdominal pain, and an emergency room visit will change your life, but it did. Life has slowed because of physical limitations, mental exhaustion, and financial strain, but we still have each other, and that's all that matters. Story 68. Kids, sports, and carpools dominate. Our conversations are mostly about logistics now, but weekends are sacred for reconnecting. Story 69. Wake up, get the kids to school, get ourselves off to work. Workday. Share TikTok videos, memes, and other gossip or just whatever is trending. Home with the family. Dinner, spend time with the children, get everyone wound down, the Sisyphean task of the endless dishes and laundry. Catch up on shows, play a board game, or pursue individual hobbies such as video games, reading, or crochet together or separately. What's changed? We wake up earlier and our house is always a mess. The noise level is higher and the chaos takes a new form every day. And daycare costs and rising prices everywhere mean we're always worried our financial ruin is just around the corner. But it's great every day and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Story 70. We still have arguments and disagreements. We have differing outlooks for our children. We both love and support each other and show it when we need each other most. We are friends and enemies at the same time. We do not shy away from conflict. Neither of us is perfect, although we probably both think we are in our own way. Story 71. I married her in June 2020, in the middle of the pandemic. For us, it's only gotten better. If anything has changed, it's just our inside jokes and the language we use to express love. I still love her as much as I did the day we married, if not more. Story 72. We have been together 12 years and married 7. Life is hard and stressful, but my spouse does not add to that. We have our issues and spats, but he still makes life infinitely better by being in it. The children change things, but they make life better. They made us work on becoming better people for them. He remains my best friend and favorite person, and he is very attractive. Story 73. The biggest change happened when doing the things that needed to be done shifted to doing them simply as a way of showing love. All the mundane tasks, like making breakfast, had become a daily expression of I love you rather than we need to get this done so we can get out the door. However, I am still not allowed to do laundry because I apparently never do it correctly. 35 years in so far. Story 74. We have been together for almost 30 years. We downsized our home and paid off our bills. He works 4 days a week, and I get to stay home now. We have minimal stress and responsibilities. We have an empty nest and no grandchildren. We are saving for a cabin in the woods as our final chapter, and we are closer emotionally than we ever imagined. Some people consider us boring on the surface, but we are quietly living our best lives. Story 75. We bring out the best in each other and support one another in everything we do. Happiness is found in the day-to-day moments, even if it is just getting home and getting the children fed and into bed. We talk about our day, plan the next one, and give our best. Story 76. A typical day is a weekday. She leaves for work a few minutes after I wake up. She gets home as I am finishing work from home for the day. She uses her phone while I make dinner and while I clean up afterward. After we put the children to bed, she uses her phone a bit longer and goes to bed around 9. I go to bed around 11. Story 77. We just celebrated 21 years together, 17 years married. In general, 99.9% of the time it is easy. We get along well and know how to work together. We laugh a lot, especially with our children. She is my best friend and my chosen partner. It is all about good communication and not hiding things from each other. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.